Oh, brother. Oh, brother. This is just like old times there. I'm going to try not to bump the microphone because whenever I do, I end up creating, death and destruction of your ears. So I'm going to give a few minutes here for people to start rolling on late, staggering in drunk. I don't care. I don't judge. Let me know if the mic sounds all right because I literally just started setting up about 5 minutes ago. The baby was screaming her freaking head off. And yeah. Anyway. Yeah, more on time than I normally would have been. It's 5:01, and remember, you guys are dealing with a little bit of a delay that I don't have. I don't have said delay. But whatever. Now, because I know that you guys are going to, inevitably ask me, because everyone does, where's the donate button? I don't. Setting up about 5 I hear myself talking. Shut up, Jay. You're an idiot. Look in the description of this stream. If it doesn't have the information there, hit refresh, and then you'll see it. But anyway, donations are always well accepted and appreciated, but never solicited and not required. So I'm tired, if you guys can't tell. You know, I still have not completely recovered yet from the NVIDIA event. And we'll talk a little bit about that, but I don't want this live stream here to be purely NVIDIA stuff. I think there's a potential for the 1080 to get completely played out before it's even launched with the amount of people talking about it. But I digress. We'll get back to that. I got to tweet this out. All right, Tech Talk number 110 is live. And yes, I will talk about where's Jerry before everyone's starting to spread rumors like, oh my God, Jay and Jerry split ways. They're not doing Tech Talk anymore. No, that's not the case. He's out there playing with rally cars. And I'm sorry, but if you had the choice of talking tech with me on, well, sort of tech talk, tax talk, car talk with me here on this live stream, or going and playing with real life rally cars, you tell me which one you would do. And if you say, I would rather talk tech with you, then I would say you're a god darn liar. That's what I'd say. Anyway. This is going to be a small, probably not that many viewers, intimate tech talk, if you will, because, like I said, Jerry is not here. But that's okay. If you guys have been around the channel for a long time, you would recognize this backdrop here, this background I've got going. We'll talk about that in a second. But I have to go ahead and run the intro. This is Tech Talk intro number 110. Jerry's not here, he's playing with cars. Hoping to roll over and die, but if he did, then he'd be famous forever, he'd be dead. Yeah, that was a really weird intro. Oh, wrong one. Ha! You can see that. There we go. All better. Anyway, I don't have any tech news or anything like that. So I thought we would do like Q&A stuff. I've been really, really busy. Like I have literally spent the last non-stop couple of days playing around with the 1080 benchmarks. No, I can't tell you about the benchmarks yet, but eventually you guys will know. When does the NDA lift? The NDA lifts when the NDA lifts. That's exactly how that goes. A little Jerry in the intro. Did you guys like that? Did you guys like that intro there? Did you like that intro? If Jerry died, then he'd be famous forever because he'd be dead. Yeah, people who die become legends. Well, I don't know. I guess if they die doing something cool. But I digress again. Okay, so multiple ways to ask your questions here. You can take your chances in chat, but as you guys know, chat is always very, very busy. There is Twitter. There's at JayzTwoCents. You can tweet me that way. And there's Facebook, but Facebook is weird. I don't like Facebook's layout. It's really hard for me to see messages as they come in on Facebook, or like the actual postings to the page. It's a little bit harder, I guess, to see than anything else. And then there is just like carrier pigeon, but that takes the longest, actually. Quite honestly, that takes the longest. I don't recommend carrier pigeon. But anyway, if you recognize this background on this stream, you would recognize the fact that this is the way Tech Talk used to look when I started it. It used to just be me chatting here with the audience, back when I had like maybe all of 20 viewers. And I could literally answer every single comment. That was fun. Those were fun times. But yeah, so I figured since Jerry is out this week, I didn't want to miss another week of Tech Talk because last week didn't happen because I had to head to the NVIDIA thing. I believe it was April 28th was the last live Tech Talk. And I was like, I'm not missing another show. So I figured I would just go ahead and do it retro style, if you will. To give you an idea of how old this backdrop is, it even has my Yoush partner logo on there. That was before I became a full-fledged full-screen partner. That's when I was in one of their sub-networks, Yoush, which was much smaller. And that's why that logo's there. Yeah, that's how it used to look. All right. I think enough questions have started to roll in. Of course, I will read your green questions, keeping track of those, and guaranteed to be read if it meets the criteria down below. I know that sounds really like grabby, but I had to do what we had to do because we were getting too many of those. All right. JayzTwoCents. How are you going to triple SLI the GTX 1080s when they only support dual SLI? I can't answer that question yet, but I can tell you it can be done. It will be done. You can do it, and NVIDIA is the one giving me the 3 cards. So if you couldn't do it, why would they give me 3 cards? Maybe because people out there are idiots. No, there was a lot of people who misquoted Elric from Tech of Tomorrow. I got to meet Elric actually this last weekend. Very cool guy. He's got some health issues he's working through, but man, I give that guy credit where credit is due. Not many people would keep doing YouTube after what he's been through. But anyway, yeah. So he did a video talking about how the 1080 only officially supports two-way SLI because the rumors started with their new SLI bridge, which they say is a high bandwidth bridge. Like, hey, here's our new bridge, and 1080. And Pascal requires as much bandwidth as we can get across the SLI finger, so here's our new bridge to support that. And oh, by the way, yeah, none of these bridges have 3 or 4-way SLI. So people took that and kind of ran with it as, oh my god, the 1080 doesn't support SLI. And then they started melting faces and shit. And then media outlets, being like they are, they want to be the first to report on things at all costs, even all costs of accuracy and integrity. So unfortunately, some media outlets have taken the words that Elric used in his video of NVIDIA is only officially supporting two-way SLI as like, that's it. They've dropped 3-way. They dropped 4-way. You can't do it. This is the death of 3D Mark. This is the death of world records, and like literally have turned it into like this massive doomsday prediction of SLI. But I'm here to tell you that when the NDA drops, you will all go, oh, okay, I get it now as to why I'm sitting here going, if all y'all trying to report on news that weren't even there would just shut the frick up and stop spreading rumors, that'd be much appreciated, okay? Thank you. I appreciate that. If y'all would just shut up. All right. Let's see here. It really irks me that media that wasn't even there is reporting on like NDA stuff, which I guess kind of gives them the freedom to do that because they're not under NDA, but that also means they don't freaking know what the hell they're talking about. Can you tell it makes me mad? There was an EVGA rep forums. Yes, I know that. I have directly talked to EVGA. Why do you think that post is no longer on the forum? Unfortunately, that gentleman was given misinformation, and then he shared it, and then everyone ran with it. EVGA has since retracted that post. Okay? That ought to tell you something as well. Just saying. Probably dual channel SLI. What does that even mean? What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Jay, they are drama queens? No, they're not trying to spread drama. They're just trying to report on something. But the problem is that it's reporting on information that you're getting third and fourth hand. And you guys, it's like the game Telephone, right? You whisper into someone's ear and then you tell them to whisper and send it on. And by the time it gets through 10 or 20 people, the statement is just so discombobulated. It's nothing near coherent or what was even the original statement. That's kind of what's happening here. Break NDA? No, I'll break your face. Ewan Murray, I'll break your face if you want me to break that NDA. Punk. Any news about the liquid for Skunk Works? It has not changed. It has not gotten any darker than it was. That's what's bugging me. As you can see in this light, it looks very, very reddish. In fact, okay, I'm going to show you guys here some really interesting stuff when it comes to the, let's see, I'm going to do this here. All right, this This is skunk vision, all right? Y'all's gonna see some skunk vision there. So you can see these right here. These are my NZXT Hue LEDs. I've got some down there as well. You can see, there they are, right there. La. Yeah, I need to get a new acrylic panel. Actually, I'm gonna get a glass panel made. This one's so scratched up. Anyway, let me show you something really interesting, and I'm curious as to how this is gonna show up on camera. This is not like a color reactive fluid. This is just straight up orange. But what's really weird about it is it responds very weird to different colors that are reflected on it. So if I turn off the light, you can kind of see that. I mean, that's orange, right? It's definitely an orange. But if I change the colors of the LEDs, I can really make the color change a lot. So you can see white LEDs make it look very red. If I change the color here, let me go to the hue setting. And by the way, I'm using the CAM software, if you guys are wondering what that is. It's NZXT's kind of like their main control center for everything. So if I then go to configure LEDs, so let me change it to blue here. See how it lost all of that reflectance and it almost turned kind of like a muddy color? It's really weird. Now if I turn on a red LED, oh wait, come on, default, there we go. Let's do red, save. Oh, that's not red. That's red. So, yeah, it just looks so pink on camera. I hate the fact that cameras can't the cameras can't really pick it up. Here's green. See how that's got no sort of reflection property in there at all? Like the coolant you can see is not reacting to the LEDs whatsoever. There's just no fluorescent, if you will. Someone's got like a fluoresce kind of a thing going on there. If I go purple, see how it starts to glow now? It really reflects red. The red pig, because white LEDs technically are equal brightness of red, green, and blue. But depending on how much you change the color, really affects what happens to the actual color of the fluid. It's really kind of interesting. So if I go red, boom, it really starts to glow. If I go white, watch that. Bing! Actually, that's really bright. I don't want it to be that bright. Where's my custom profile here? Hold on. And there. See, I have to warm up the light quite a bit. But anyway, yeah, it really looks reddish on camera. But I thought I would just share that. So yeah, that's why I like the NZXT. That's really close. That's really close up. That's why I really like the NZXT Hue Plus lighting system, because you can completely customize that. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Wow, such trolls on here. Yeah, it's the internet. You learn to just ignore the stupid people. The stupid people become just invisible, like totally invisible. Okay, let's see. Mr. Skyman457 donated 5 of them British money, I think it is. He says, I appreciate the awesome vids. Thank you, sir. Pup Shepherd, every single week, man. You got to stop giving me money. I'm serious. Love your videos. As always, have fun. Here's 5 untraceable digital currency. P.S. Find me on Tyler Tech Tips. Hashtag pay for plugs. All right, guys. You should have been Tyler's Tech2Cents. That's what you should have been. James Swanson says, are you going to upgrade Skunk Works with the 1080s? Yes. There will be 3 of them in there. And I'm getting custom engraved water blocks with JayzTwoCents on them. That's going to be cool, huh? Jacob Stevens, you should do a gaming live stream after this. But my question is, how is weight loss going? Any problems? Love your content. Watch every week that you guys do it. Thank you, sir. Kind of funny that you asked about the weight loss. I've changed gears a little bit. That's not, no pun intended. I still ride my bike, not as often as I would like. The weather is actually turning hot, which I really like to ride in the heat, believe it or not. But over the last 3 or 4 months, I've started doing much heavier lifting with my personal trainer, who is actually a bodybuilder. And I've finally found a medium where I can enjoy lifting and enjoy riding. Because for a while there, those are 2 completely different physical disciplines. Long-term endurance, where I was doing, a 25-mile ride by myself would take me an hour and 35 minutes or so. With Coconut Monkey, it takes about 2 hours because he's much slower. He doesn't ride as often. A 40-mile ride was taking me just over 2 hours. And then a 50-mile ride was taking me just over 3 hours. 75 mile or 100 kilometer ride was taking me about 4-ish hours, about 4 hours, 15 minutes or so. That's a lot of cardio. And it's nonstop riding. It's not like I'm riding here and stopping, taking a break, sitting under a tree in the shade. No, it's nonstop riding. That's a whole different effect on your body and what you ask of your body to do that. And then once you start lifting, that's a whole different discipline. It's a lot of less, obviously lesser endurance, but it's more burst power in spurts, if you will. Spurts. Yeah. Power, that was really derogatory. Power in spurts with rest and repair and a different use of your muscles. Like, it's a whole different thing. So for a while there, if I wanted to take riding serious, I couldn't take lifting serious. And if I wanted to take lifting serious, I couldn't ride as far, and I got winded very, very fast. So I spent about the last 4 months really working on conditioning my body to be able to switch between endurance mode and power mode. And I'm finally getting results in both, like big time. And I'm really, really happy. Seated leg press right now for me is 770 pounds. That's 16 45-pound plates and then the weight of the machine. So my legs are very strong biking thanks to that. I saw a comment float by that said, are you thinking about mountain biking? I am thinking about mountain biking now. I want to, not downhill biking or anything like that. I would kill myself trying to do downhill. I'm just thinking about trailblazing, trail riding, stuff like that would be fun. So I have been looking at some mountain bike stuff. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent about health stuff. But I haven't updated you guys on the health thing in a while, and I kind of suck. I kind of suck at that. That's my bad. Jay, 1v1 me in BF4. Bruh. Dude, I'd totally pwn your face in 1v1. LOL, cardio is TechTalk. I don't know that, Mom. I learned something new. Words are hard and stuff. Okay. Tech Matters. Jerry's Potatoing. $20 donation. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. Jerry's Potatoing. Like couch potatoing? I don't know. I know he's riding shotgun in some rally cars. Toxic Doctor says, hey, Jay, glad to see you back. Question. Oh, glad. Oh, you misspelled glad. I'm just want to point that out. Glad to see you back. Question. 1080 or 1070 or should I water cool it? Of course you should water cool it. And I can't answer that question yet because I haven't seen a 1070 yet. That's coming out later on in June. You got to wait for that. So I don't know. But preliminary 6.5 teraflops of compute power and GDDR5. It doesn't look like GDDR5X, but the slide they showed said GDDR5. And supposedly matching Titan X and 980 Ti speeds for $379. Holy shit. Holy shit, Batman. Yeah, I when the 980 and 970 launched, I was really excited for the 970. In fact, while everyone was out there doing 980 coverage back in September of 2014, I was the only guy that put up a 970 video during all of that. And it did really well, actually, and people were really excited for the performance of the 970. Unfortunately, found out later it didn't have as much actual usable RAM as everyone thought, but that's not going to be the case on this one. There's a lot of people asking, okay, by the way, I think I've seen this go by a few times. Jay Priller telling me to wait for the 1080 Ti. You don't tell me what to do. Do you really think I wouldn't do both? Like take my 1080s out and put in 1080 Ti's when they're available? You know I'm gonna. I've seen a lot of people repeating the joke that they think is so funny. Like, I wonder if it has 7.5 gigs of RAM. I'm the first one to say that on the internet. I'm so funny and original. No. It doesn't work that way on this architecture because there's no crossbar, or at least the crossbar works differently between memory and memory controller or whatever. So I think people are going to be testing memory, but I personally didn't check the actual memory allocation tool that they used to it looked like a DOS program that scanned it, because there were some tests that I could do that actually maxed out the memory of the 1080. And I was seeing the fact that it was all there and usable for DirectX. So put that one to rest. I would have to think NVIDIA is smarter than repeating the same mistake they did with 970. Could you imagine the fallout if NVIDIA had the same architecture issue with the memory again? Oh my God, there would be absolute hell to pay. Let's go. Where's my cursor? Okay. John Kraus says, "Hey Jay, longtime viewer but first time live. Love your content." Thank you, John. I love your comment. Jared Zarnkow. So after the 1080 and 1070 come out, do you think the other previous gen cards will go down a decent amount in price? Thank you, love all your stuff. They would have to, wouldn't you think? Because 680 Ti, 980 Ti is $629 to $679 right now, depending on the card you get. Would you pay more for a slower card? I mean, think about that. I feel bad for the board partners. They're the ones that immediately are like, lost money on these cards. So I would expect to see those go down to around maybe the $450 range, I would think. Aaron Summers says, when are the car vlogs or car videos coming back? I'm editing one tonight. It will be up probably tonight. So look for it tonight. And if you're in a different part of the world, then look for it tomorrow. Unless tomorrow is tonight, like you're in Australia. Then it might be the day after that. Yeah. Where'd your comments go? There. Remember, guys, the 970 beat the G. It's gone. It's a problem with comments. They're like 680 Ti, right? LOL, right, guys? Jay's had too much to drink. I know, because they didn't have a 680 Ti. They didn't have a Ti model of the 80 series until the 700. It's funny because I made that comment once of, and guys, NVIDIA didn't make a Ti model of the 80 cards until 780. And once again, selective hearing, people were like, Jay, you're stupid. They made a 650 Ti. And it was like, they made a 550 Ti. Yeah, they made a 550 Ti. And they're like, you're dumb. And I'm going, they didn't make an 80 series Ti. Listen, stop selective hearing. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to be like, most humans use 10% of their brain, but I'm going to use 6.2% of my brain. That takes effort. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy to make effort. Don't be the guy who spends energy to use less of your brain. That's a waste. Don't waste. Guys, hashtag use all 10% of your brain. Please. It's important. Why did the 1080 run at 67C? I don't know. I didn't see that rig. We all kind of wondered, like, that's a really low temperature. What the F? Yeah, I don't know what that rig was. They claim it was nothing special. I don't know. I really don't. What do you love more, your wife or Skunk Works? That's a dumb question. Skunk wife. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Caroline. Wizard's first rule: people are stupid. What do you think about Battlefield 1? I'm kind of excited for it. I asked Coconut Monkey what he thought of it, and he went like this. I swear to God. Coconut Monkey was here, and I said, hey, how about that Battlefield 1, though? And he goes, eh. And I was like, eh? And he goes, eh. I said, did you watch the release notes or whatever? He goes, I watched the video, like the gameplay video. That was it. And he's like, yeah. Dude, you can't formulate opinion by watching high-level stuff. Like, think about it. Read into it. Look at the comments. Or look at the actual complete keynote. And it's like, meh. I get that he's keeping his expectations low, as am I, because this is EA after all. But I love vintage warfare. I love World War II games. World War I games have never really been a thing, so I'm kind of excited that we're going back to like turn of the century style warfare. I think a Civil War battlefield would have been kind of cool. I mean, think about that. You got to like push the cannons out there, and you got to load it, and you got to put the wad in there. Hashtag put your wad in. So I think that would have been fun. What I'm excited most for with Battlefield 1 is, please, for the love of God, no cheesy reimagining of World War I. Make it literally crosshair warfare. One of the things I've really started to hate about Battlefield as it progressed into the idea of it being slightly in the future, the amount of lock-on weaponry bugs the hell out of me. Make it skill-based. Put your crosshair where it needs to go to kill your target, okay? Then they're dead. That's how it should be. That's how it should always be. But, yeah. I don't know. It is EA and it is DICE, and they'll find some way to be like, hey, There's more of this franchise that still has a beating heart. We should probably stab it. Yep, we'll get right on that. We'll stab it. We'll have a scrum meeting about stabbing it. Assassin's Creed 3 had a Civil War fighting kind of, but Assassin's Creed, though, was not Battlefield. It was not first-person shooter or MMO first-person shooter. That was an RPG-style game. So not the same to me at all. And I did play that one, by the way. Do you know how loud Hyper 212 Evo is? No. Don't be silly. You're silly. You're silly. Jay retweets. Oh, yeah, good idea. Thank you for that. I can see I've got 39 pending notifications over there. Okay. Colin, what's up, Colin Strimbew? He says, hey, Jay, what do you think? When do you think the 1080 Ti Titan X replacement will drop? You know, if we look at the history of NVIDIA and its patterns, the launch cycle of Titan always seemed to be about 6 months offset from main launch. For instance, if we look at the last generation, so 980 launched in September of 2014. Titan X launched in, yes, Scotty, I know the Hyper 212 isn't loud, but if I was trying to think of a dBA number in my head of how, or dB number, decibel meter, of how loud it was, and I can't remember. Anyway, so September 2014, 980, 970 launched. March of 2015, you guys remember the weirdest Titan X video ever? March was when Titan X launched. And then I think it was what? June was when 980 Ti launched. It was only a couple months after Titan X came out that 980 Ti like replaced that one as being relevant. Yeah, so I would have to say maybe September-ish we might see one. That's purely speculation. I have no idea. All I know is that there were some NVIDIA folk at this press event telling some of us, like, if you think this is cool, you ain't seen nothing yet. And we're like, tell us more. And they're like, nope, can't. Mic drop. That's basically how it went. That's basically how it went. So, yeah, I don't know. But if I had to speculate, if I had to, purely speculate based on history, then probably September again, maybe. I don't know. September's kind of weird because it doesn't line up with any sort of major event. I don't recall. What was the event that NVIDIA did their launch at? Was it like some major LAN party? I don't remember. Like June is Computex. March was GTC and GDC time for NVIDIA, so it made sense for those, but I don't remember what September was. What else we got going on here? Scotty, I'm not getting snappy. What the fuck, man? What do I sound snappy right now? Listen to the words that I'm saying. Do I sound snappy? No. Didn't think so. All right. He's a personal friend of mine responding on Skype. I can rib my friends that way. Ryan Greenberg says, Jay, do you think my i5 4690K will bottom like a 1080? No, I don't. Streaming Iraq war veteran. Wow. I think he streams and he's a war veteran. Good on you. Is it worth to go from a GTX 980 Ti classified to the reference 1080? It's called Founders. It's not called Reference anymore. Don't say Reference. Wait for the benchmarks. Emmanuel Eon says, hey, Jay, I'm glad I'm finally getting to actually watch your stream. I've been wanting to donate for a while. Love your channel. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Mucho appreciated. I know that Tech Talk's one of those things that, like, there's that diehard audience that watches every single week, and if we miss a week for some reason, they literally want to string us up by our necks on the nearest tree when Jerry and I have to cancel the show, so thank you for that. And if this is your first time here, this is a very one-off stream. Jerry is out playing with rally cars, last-minute invite. He was like, dude, I got to bail on Tech Talk. I was like, figures. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, nah, go ahead, have fun. So I figured I would do this retro style. This was how the show started. Just me chatting and doing Q&A. I didn't prepare the live stream. I didn't have news articles and screen caps and transitions and like segments and all that crap. I just did this. It was for me to hang out with the audience live, which is kind of cool. I mean, I always looked at it this way. You watch your favorite streamers, right? It's kind of neat to be like, wow, I'm sitting here right now and they're doing this live, like right now. You ever wonder, right? Let's say your favorite actor, let's say your favorite A-list actor is on Periscope. And then all of a sudden they turn on their Periscope and you're like, wow, I'm looking through this portal right into this guy I really like's life, and I'm seeing what he's doing right now. I like doing that. I like watching people that I admire and look up to. I never announce that I'm in the stream. I just lurk on ghost accounts that are unknown, so you never know when I'm there. But I'm there all the time, and I think it's cool. So I liked hanging out with viewers who thought it was cool to hang out with me. Jay, been watching since Tech Talk number 15. That's a long time ago. I'd kind of have to go back and look that up to see what it was about. I'm curious now. Look what you've done. You have made me click off of my stream to go and see what the topic of Tech Talk number 15 was. Because I always change the title afterwards to be more relevant of whatever it was that I talked about. I hope a video doesn't start auto-playing. Okay, good. Let's see. Tech Talk 15. Someone's already beat me to it, I'm sure. Tech Talk number 15 was about... No? Okay, so far there's no number 15. Is that an elusive? What? How is there no Tech Talk number 15? No number 15. Guys, somebody find Tech Talk number 15 and tell me what the topic was, if you haven't already. You know, I think part of the problem is, oh, here it is. Nope, that's Tech Addiction, episode number 15. That was when the NRA versus video games. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to look at the chat. I'm sure someone's already put it in there what it is. Anyway, man, I go off on tangents when I'm by myself. This is worse than when Jerry's here. Jay, are you running Windows 10 yet? You did it on purpose, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm running Windows 10 on that machine right there for testing. You need to test DX12. If I didn't test DirectX 12 with this card launch, you guys would have murdered me, I'm sure. I am pretty sure of that, actually. Rename's current Tech Talk to number 15. I know I should, right? Jay, when are you having a third ball removed? I like my third ball. I call him Chuck. It doesn't exist. I checked. That's weird, huh? What happened to 15? Oh my god. Okay. Jay, best gaming monitor. Now, you need to give me a price. I can't answer that without price. I really love my Predator X34, but once again, the launch for the X34 was very similar to other launches where there was kind of hit and miss if you got one that was good or not. Have I tried Forza on Windows 10? Nope, I have not tried it on Windows 10. Tech Talk number 15. AMD Wraith GameWorks Black Desert Online eSport in France. That does not sound like anything I would have talked about. Are you making that up? You're totally making that up. Doesn't sound like anything I would talk about. So Super Cookie and the Craft says, Jay, would you rather live on the moon for the rest of your life with a great internet connection and delivery service, or live on Mars for a year but without internet but come back? That's kind of a silly question, because I get nothing for going to Mars. It's hot. It's closer to the sun. It's red. I like NVIDIA. There's way too much red on Mars. That's a joke, by the way, guys. So, obviously, I would rather live on the moon because the internet connection would be better than I have here. How many nipple hairs do you have? 6. What is my religious beliefs? I believe that there are things out there that are bigger than myself, sir. Okay, wait. Where it, Jerry? Where it, grammar? Jay, what's a good monitor for 250 and under? VG284QE, VG248QE is still a really good monitor. I've got 2 of them right there. One there, one there. It's funny though, when they're next to my IPS panel, it's like, ugh. But I use them for productivity. It's just where I have all my files and things when I'm editing at, so that I can just drag them over to the Predator easier. Mars is really cold. Is it? I thought Mars was closer to the... I thought Mars was one planet closer to the sun. Am I wrong? Mars is further from the sun. Really? I don't do that sort of... I don't look at planet... Okay, I'm curious now. Didn't they like take Pluto out as a planet too? Let's see. Solar system. I could have swore that Mars was one closer to the sun. Well, why are we going the other way? Is it because we can't go closer to the sun? We'll die? Is it? So I know Mercury is the closest one to the sun, right? Oh yeah, you're right. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. I seriously, legitimately in my head thought it went Mercury, Mars, Earth, Venus. Where's Uranus? There's Uranus. The hypothetical planet X. That's funny. You would think we would have noticed it by now, right? Small bodies, dwarf planets, Pluto, Ceres, asteroids, comets, and meteorites. Moons, Earth's moon, Europa. Ooh, Titan. Where's Titan X moon? These are some real geeks that do this shit. All right. Yeah, so obviously I don't know planets very well. You guys have just wrecked chat. Do you realize this? You guys have wrecked the chat. Okay. Cole Hogan says, hey Jay, what do you think of Microsoft adding Bash into Windows? What's Bash? I quite honestly don't know. What is Bash? I don't know. All right, going over to the Twitter sphere. James at Pinking5 says, can you find a way to take out Jerry on the moon? I don't know what that means. Like take him on a night out? Like it's a bromance thing? It's not sexual, it's just sentimental? Just gonna take him out on the moon? Are there restaurants on the moon? I probably could. Devin Hook, I would appreciate your response. I respect your opinion. Okay, I responded. Van Short says, hey Jay, if I sent you the parts for my next system, could you build it and water cool it for me? Sorry, I am unfortunately not able to do that. I don't have the time to build systems for the internet. I have people I build systems for, and even then it takes a long time. Evan Watson, do you think the A10 6800K will bottleneck a 1080? Yes, I do. I do believe it will. I did a video with the A10 7850K. That was, I wouldn't say bottlenecking a 780, but I would say that we were getting a lot of fluctuation in frame timing and interval. Now a 780 is a lot slower than a 1080. So yeah, my question would be, if you want to get a 1080 and you have an A10 6800K, I recommend you get a better computer, sir, all around. Here's Devin Hook's question. You know what's funny is when, guys, the worst thing you can do, okay, when you have 127,000 followers on Twitter, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mentions a day. I only get a chance to check a fraction of those. So when you tweet me and go, hey Jay, can I ask you a question? Chances are that's the only thing I'm going to see from you. And at that point it's like, well, technically you just did. And really, your best chance, Twitter tip, just ask your question. Because then if someone sees it, like myself or Linus or whatever, you have a much better chance of answering it than me being like, okay, go ahead and ask your question. And then it just disappears into the big poofy space of Twitter to never be seen again because there's so many mentions. So don't ask someone if you can ask a question. You can always ask a question. That's why it's there. Just ask it. All right. Devin Hook, I'm going to be going into game design and I love to play games. Should I build a PC with a 1080 and two-way SLI or wait for a 1080 Ti? Okay, Devin, listen to me very, very carefully, and I want everyone here to listen to me. This is inevitably the question most people ask themselves if they're considering buying something new right now. That being, should I get XYZ now, or should I... Hobseltoff just showed me what TechTalk number 15 was. It was the one where Kyle was on, Awesome Sauce Kyle. Wow, okay, I still have that thumbnail, which is funny. I just saw that today. How ironic. All right, so number 15 was when Kyle was on. Got it, guys. Okay. If you were finding yourself in the position of going, oh, man, I don't know if I should get a 1080 now or wait for the 1080 Ti. Because here's what's going to happen when the 1080 Ti comes out. You're going to go, oh, man, I don't know if I should buy a 1080 Ti because I bet you the 1180 is coming out really soon. So then the 1180 comes out and you go, oh, yeah, I'll probably get an 1180. Oh, man, but I bet you the 1180 Ti is going to be coming out soon. So you are going to always be doing that. So just buy the best you can afford at the time you have the money to do it, unless you are literally like on the edge of new hardware coming out. Again, sorry, Chris. If you're on the edge of new hardware coming out, then wait a little bit. Then buy, because you can wait a little bit because pricing is going to drop on the older stuff. But if the new card, the 1080, came out right now, I can guarantee you the 1080 Ti is not coming out like next month. It's not even coming out in a couple months from now, in my opinion. So just buy it. Seriously. Jay, why could NVIDIA not overclock the 1080 higher if it was only running 67C? That's a common thing people don't understand with overclocking. We've reached a point where thermals are quite often not the limiting factor in overclock now. What happens when you change a frequency inside of a processor is especially on something that's as small of a footprint as 16 nanometer FinFET, even 28 nanometer is very small. As you raise that frequency, it starts to have what's called crosstalk. And that is where the frequency bleeds through into other things happening inside the microconductor. And then you end up getting an error, which then triggers a fail in your frequency. Like suddenly it was like, that's not compute. And random restart, blue screen crash, driver crash, whatever. So that tends to happen these days a lot sooner than temperature. We are way past the age of, I can't overclock farther because I'm too hot. So that's why 2114 megahertz was the stable overclock they chose to go with, not because temperature. So it really kind of bothers me when I see so many people going, Jay, if your cards are only running at 50C, why aren't you overclocking farther? Not to sound like the Jay's a dickhole, but that when I see those comments, it really shows to me the amount of people that don't understand overclocking, which tells me I'm not doing my job very well. Yeah, I suck. I should fire myself. Eric Huber says, thanks, Jay. Looking forward to seeing the 1080 reviews and benchmarks. I'll be liquid cooling a GPU for the first time, which is exciting. Keep it up. Aren't you scared ripping the cooler off your really expensive card if you get a 1080? No, I'm just kidding. Rip it off. Rip that card right off. Don't even unscrew it. Just rip it apart. Just literally be like, and then be like, who needs a screwdriver? Prediction for release date, June 10th. Of what? The 980 Ti? Or the 1080 Ti? Isn't that before the date they said for the 1070? Just kidding, guys. Tips for OSing a GPU. Have tried, but as soon as crash, I get scared and revert. Try harder. No, you're not going to hurt it by changing sliders on Afterburner. Jay, what can you say about Leap Computing not launching their product as advertised? I know this has nothing to do with hot topic of 1080. Guys, I don't work for 1080. Or for 1080. I'm tired. I don't work for Leap Computing. I have no idea what they're doing. I have not had a conversation with them in a long time. In fact, I'm going to end up having to move my host for my own website and email server because I'm not getting support that I need for that even. So I'm going to end up changing hosts as well away from Leap Computing. So like I said, I have no idea what they're doing. Guys, if you pre-ordered the cloud-based gaming stuff, people keep coming to me like, hey, what's the update? I know for a fact that they have sent out tons of updates in email form and even put it on their own Facebook page or whatever, trying to keep people up to speed on what's happening. If you're not getting any of those, then I don't know what to tell you. But I know they're going out. They also offered complete full refunds for those that want a refund. So I saw people even mad, like, I want my money back. Then just get the freaking refund they offered you. Stop being a drama queen. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Jay, what do you think the 1080 will work good with an i5 6600K? No, the i5 6600K is very slow. It is a very slow CPU. It's terrible. I think it will bottleneck even a 560. So I wouldn't buy any graphics card for that. Alex096, if you can't tell I'm being facetious here, you're fine, dude. 6600K is perfectly fine. You can't do 3 times 1080 due to changes to SLI bridge bandwidth. Shut up, Michael. You have no idea what you're talking about. You seriously have no idea what you're talking about. See, we're gonna use Michael as an example here of the internet. Michael, who was not at the NVIDIA event, goes, I wonder what's happening with this SLI thing, because he probably saw a mention in a forum, or he saw a tweet, and he goes, I wonder what that is. So he looks it up. That's typing, by the way. And he ends up on the EVGA forums, because that's where Google takes him. And he goes, looks like someone here says that that 3-way and 4-way SLI doesn't work. I wonder if that's true. And then he goes to Google again and sees that OC3D put out a thing. 3-way and 4-way not supported. Can't do it. Bridges only have 2-way. And he goes, this seems to be really valid. And then does another search and comes up with Kit Guru, that then also links to Tech of Tomorrow's video where he mentions in there that only 2-way SLI is officially supported. And then he goes, Well, that must be true. I better tell Jay. Jay might not know this, even though I was at the event. What's happened here is none of the people who started the rumor were at the meeting. So unfortunately, you then get the snowball effect of all these people like doing this at each other on the internet, but none of them were there. And that really pisses me off. So again, they're wrong. Not Elric. Elric is not wrong. Elric is absolutely correct when he said that NVIDIA is only officially supporting two-way SLI. So the other sites that are saying that you can't three-way and four-way SLI are the ones that are making me mad. I want to put that out there. I'm giving him way too much credit. Yeah, he probably couldn't spell Google. Let's see. Get roasted, Michael. Hey, if you're gonna speak up and you're gonna say a fact to me like that you're wrong about, expect it. Just expect it. Yes, Hobseltoff. The answer to that is yes. He asked me if we want to omit any questions, even on donations about the two-way SLI limitation. There will be a video on this, absolutely. Just not right now. Hey, Jay, just wondering if you knew... Oh, this is Sean Friedrich. Okay, Sean Fried Rice says... Hey Jay, just wondering if you knew how long it takes companies like Asus, MSI, etc. to release their versions of new graphics cards. Typically, that depends on the amount of lead time that NVIDIA gives them. Things like Titan, the board partners typically have no information. They get to learn about it the same time you are watching the live streams that NVIDIA does. Because Titan, like I'm using Titan as an example here. Titan is managed 100% in-house, which means NVIDIA doesn't allow the partners to make their own board designs. It's 100% controlled by NVIDIA and only offered by NVIDIA. Even if you buy a Titan X from EVGA or MSI, the board was made by NVIDIA, and then the board partners are reselling those cards. Those they get no leeway. They don't get to do anything with. So zero time, zero ever. When it comes to cards like 1080, 980, 980 Ti, you'll notice 980 Ti, there were custom boards on launch day. Right, Gigabyte had its G1 Gaming. I think Zotac had their amp. There were cards available outside of the reference, aka Founders cards. So it really depends on NVIDIA and their relationship with the board partners and how early they want to keep that, how long they want to keep it a secret. Because you live in the age of leaks and things, and obviously they want to keep things as under wraps as best they can. But at the same time, they want board partners to be able to come out with cards. So I don't know. For all I know, the board partners that come up with custom designs might get 6 months ahead of time. I don't know. Because they have to have the time to engineer their custom cards too. And there's going to be some day one custom cards here on NVIDIA. Apparently, someone asked NVIDIA internally if there were going to be custom cards on day one. And I guess the answer was absolutely, tons of them. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Okay, Toxic Doctor again. Don't know why. I guess my comment was too long, but I made a mini Skunk Works with a 900D. Skunk Works, well, I guess Skunk Works never was a 900D. My custom computer, which didn't have a name, the yellow build, the black and yellow, started with my 900D, but then I moved out of the 900D to the SMA8. Wouldn't it have been funny if I tapped my computer right there and it blue screened? That's how unstable my system is. Rich Campbell, what snack should I send Paul and Kyle to eat on their show? Oh, like a treat stream or whatever it's called. Send something super fattening and greasy and stuff, because Paul will eat it, but Kyle won't, which is really funny. So I don't know, pizza and pasta and all that again. That'd be cool. Steely Dan, is that a joke on Steely Dan? Says, hey Jay, no question. Just the obligatory reminder that you have forums. LOL, I'm just messing with you. We know you're busy and we love you. I hope you heard what I said earlier though about Leap. That explains some of the reason why I haven't been there right now. But I know that my webpage is something I need to pay attention to. Trust me. Cole Johnson says, would I be able to put a 1080 up my butt? Probably. You sound like the kind of guy that would just have a huge rectum. Eric 1961, I think that's how you say his name. The retailers must be freaking. What are they going to do with the 980s, TIs, and Titans? Love your channel. I doubt they'd be freaking out. This isn't the first time that a new card has come out. We've had new cards since the first card came out. Every time a new card came out, there was an old card, and those old cards just end up getting sold really, really cheap. You guys want to hear something funny? At DreamHack, you know what Alienware did at DreamHack? They must have had just pallets of 770s laying around, because they literally put out like a tweet that said, "Hey guys, come on over to the Alienware booth. We are just giving away 770s." And that wasn't like, "Okay guys, number 5462, you're the lucky winner of a 770," and you're like, "Yay!" and you run down and you get your card. No, they just lined up, walked by, and as they walked by, they're like, "Here you go, here you go, here you go." They were just handing out 770s like that. And I was looking at that on Twitter because DX Racer retweeted it like, "Hey, come over here right now while they last." They're literally just handing out 770s, one to each person who came by. And they had boxes of them. They're just like, "Here you go, here you go, here you go." I'm looking at that, and I've got all these graphics cards. And even I was like, "I want one." I didn't go over there and get one, but still, a 770 is still a hell of a card. No problems playing games on a 770. Shit. So yeah, they could even end up doing something like that. Let's see. Splendid says, "What's up, Jay? Love the channel. I'm about to buy an LG G5. Any thoughts about the phone or how it compares to the other flagships?" I've heard good things about LG's G5, but the only Android phone I've had any sort of hands-on in the recent past was the Galaxy S6. And to me, Android, this is going to sound really out of character, and especially since you guys know that I build, stuff like that. What I'm going to say, the problem with Android and me is it's too complicated. And I know right now someone's head just went and exploded and went, "Jay said Android's too complicated. He's too stupid to use Android." What I mean by it is I don't want to customize my phone. I don't. I just want to, that's why I have my iPhone. I just want to turn it on and be like, "Oh, look, messages, email, done." And I know you can do that on Android, but Android, even on the Galaxy S6, I had to deal with it. It's like you got to have your task killer going because battery life issues suck, and bloatware on almost every Android. You don't deal with any of that on iPhone. So I just like the simplicity of iPhone. Do I love the iPhone? Hell no. This thing is buggy as hell. There's so many times I go to unlock my phone, and when I'm sliding it, like the touch screen doesn't work. Push buttons, and it becomes unresponsive, and it crashed the springboard. Just cell phones and mobile smartphones suck as a whole. And I'm not into that scene anymore. I used to care, but not anymore. What? Dude, Andre says, "Dude, I so get you. That's why I switched from Android to Windows Phone." That dude should do stand up. All right. Steely Dan again says, "Yes, it's sort of a play on Steely Dan, combined with college-era drunken misspellings of sleepy on the car form." Okay. So Sleepy Dan became Speely Dan because he drank too much on a car form. Okay. I'm with you. I feel you. There's a lot of interest in 1080. See, I personally am kind of going, I'm getting just a little bit. This is my we're gonna do a little Jack Nicholson. "I'm getting just a little tired of hearing about the 1080. Let's just cool it." All right, I'm kind of myself starting to go, I'm so sick of the 1080. That's because I spent nonstop time benchmarking the card. Can you guys see? No, you can't really see it. Where? My big head's in the way. Oh, there they are. You see the cards right there? Right there. That's a Fury X. And then there's a Titan X. And then there's a 980 Ti. And then there's a 1080. So there's a little sneak peek at some of the thingies there that are going to be doing in the reviews and stuff. In reviews. Okay, that's it. That's the last straw. And burn this place to the ground. All right. When does the 1070 come out? I don't know. Got to go back and watch the live stream. They put a date up, I think. Tired of 1080? How about the 1070? Exactly. I want to know more about the 1070. I am way more excited for the 1070. Jason Rasmussen says, "I paid $350 for my 980 Kingpin." That's a good price, dude. That's a good price. Should I SLI my Titan X or buy a Founders 1080? SLI Titan X will be much faster than a single 1080, but it won't have any of the neat fixes like the screen correction for surround and the other stuffs they mentioned. So Jay, you've been lifting weights since nice biceps, bro. I still have pretty fat arms. So I used to be 494 pounds. I don't know if you guys knew that. So that's why my arms are a little bit flabby. But yeah, I've been do the triceps. I'm working on the triceps. You ready? Do that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do lifting, but I try and keep it reasonable because I still really like riding my bike. So I don't want to be like, let's go riding on bicycles because I'm too big. No, wait, I did that wrong. Come on, let's go riding the bicycles and be doing the bling-a-blings. You know what I mean? So I've got to find that balance between strength, size, and agility, which really kind of sucks. Because when you like lifting, and you like riding, but you know one directly affects the other negative, then yeah. Anywho, let's see here. Jerry is driving cars. I think Jerry's riding in the cars, isn't he? Do you think AMD is going to perform anywhere close to the 1080 to 1070? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Do you drive the 350Z or 370Z, and how is it using as a daily car? It's not my daily car, and I don't have a 350Z anymore. My 370 is not a daily. Hey Jay, do we know yet if NVIDIA has fixed their issues with async compute shading on their cards yet? I may or may not have done a DX12 test, but I didn't specifically test shading. That's what you're asking me. Doing the bling blings. Yeah, come on, let's ride the bike. Bling bling. Move it out of the way. Oh no, I'm falling over. Yeah, so anyway. Jay, who are you voting for? Which evil are you asking me which evil I'm going to vote for? What about track riding with your bike? Huh? Like go to, like, say, Willow Springs on my bike? Oh, man. Polaris will be great. Okay. No, I'll be honest. I'm waiting to see. If rumors have it that they're only shooting for middle market, then it sounds like AMD is kind of doing with GPUs as it did with CPUs, going, fine, NVIDIA, you can have the high end. We don't want it anymore. We're just going to target the lower end stuff, which kind of sucks, quite honestly. We need more cowbell. I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You must be new here. Tech guys must be new. Yeah. In fact, I used to have an entire section on my Instagram where I used to do words with Arnold, where every day we would sit down and we would learn a new word. Like, for instance, Denny's. Denny's is the word of the day. We would say like this, guys, first he is going to go here, Denny's is going to go there. Yeah, that was What's funny is my personal trainer, if you guys follow my Instagram, I've told you to go follow him, and he's literally like huge. He's a bodybuilder, and he worked out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and like literally worked out with him at Gold's Gym and everything when he competed. And every time I would do my Arnold impression, joking around, he would just start laughing so hard. Oh man, Rafflecopter. Yeah, Rafflecopter indeed. That sounds more like a bird, huh? Anyway, I should do the truffle shuffle. I don't want to. It'd be more like the shuffle fold. Javier dies. Javier just died. He straight up died on stream. Okay, let's see here. The Wolf Stang says, would you like to do a Scout Heli stunt run on BF3 Xbox 360? I don't have it on 360, so the answer is already no. I'll rebuild my 360. I'd love to do stunts again with someone who could actually enjoy it. Nope, I don't do it on 360, just PC. JHowl1030 says, hey Jay, long-time viewer, first-time live. This feels like Loveline. Hey Stu, first-time caller, long-time listener, and I was just wondering about erectile dysfunction. Let's see. Hey Jay, long-time viewer, first-time live. I have a chance to sell my two 980 Kingpins for $750. Is replacing them with a 1080 a good investment? Keep up the good work. That's a hard one because two 980 Ti, or not Ti's, two 980 Kingpins is probably going to be pretty darn close to a 1080 in DirectX. maybe slightly faster than a 1080, but you're going to have much reduced energy usage. You're going to have much reduced heat in your system and get the same levels of performance and much more VRAM, which is going to make you a little bit more future-proof when it comes to, yeah, I said future-proof, when it comes to RAM limitations. And I talk about some of that in my 1080 review, by the way. Keep up the good work. You're a bowl of awesome. Is that a fat joke? Huh? Is that a fat joke? I'm fat. That's all right. Chris Miller says, you should do a disturbed computing build. Bring it into some more light. Oh, distributed. I was like, I'm so confused. What is a disturbed build? Is that like a theme? Distributed computing build. Oh, maybe. But then everyone will just say I'm copying Linus. Cole Johnson says, if I were to donate with the N-word here, would you read it? Nope. I would say expletive. Alrighty. What year is my Nissan? 2010. Oh my god, future-proof. Ah, he said future-proof. Oh my god, future-proof. I miss doing these shows by myself, actually. It's kind of fun. You know, if you've never tried to hold, like a gaming live stream you can do by yourself because you just play games and you're like, woohoo, I've got games to talk about and I can talk about this thing that just happened in the game and we can have fun. You know how incredibly hard it is to hold a monologue like this and still try and be entertaining? I suck at it. Okay. Whoa, they're going by really fast. What happened to the words? Like, it froze. Okay. Jay, I'm 6'6", currently 365 lbs. I also trying to lose weight. At my heaviest, I was 390. I was wondering how well your skin retracted after losing your weight. I've said it before. I'm really lucky. Like, I don't have a... I mean, I guess there's a little bit of elasticity there. But I don't have, like, turkey neck. Like I said, my arms... A little bit on my arms right there. It bugs me, but, you know, whatever. No matter how much I lift, that's always going to be there. But I can deal with that. My stomach, really not too bad. So I'm pretty lucky, but it's everybody's different. So I can't say like you're not gonna have a little bit of extra love rolls, love flaps, if you will. But anyway, it sounds like you're on the right track though. If you've gone from 390 to 365 already, just keep doing what you're doing. All right, we have a new very important topics here to talk about. Splendid says, would you be willing to trade your 370Z for my 94 Mitsubishi 3000 GT? Hypothetically, of course, because mine's better. If your 3000 GT was twin turbo, then there might be a different, maybe. But no, your Mitsu doesn't hold a candle to my 370. Eric Steele says, Jay, what would you say to Acer making monitor extensions you put on the side of your X34? They're basically X34 monitors split in half and put to the sides of the monitors for NVIDIA Surround. The problem is, unless something's drastically changed with Surround, I believe the monitors have to be the same resolution. So you couldn't split an X34 in half and have the resolution. I don't know. Maybe it would work. That'd be kind of neat. But then I guess for Surround, I'd rather just have the 3X34s, to be honest, if they've really fixed it like they say they have. NVIDIA, that is. Cole Johnson says, penis, LOL. Cole Rees says, should I go with a mini ITX or micro ATX for my Corsair Air 240? Well, if you go mini ITX, then big Intel chips like Broadwell E coming out and all of that are completely out of the question for you. Jay, would you recommend a person who owns a GTX 980 to upgrade to the 1080 when it comes out? Oh man, these are going to be the questions that are going to be asked a million times. I have an EVGA GTX 980 SSC on a 5820K. Love your vids, man. Rory, I would quite honestly say it depends on your games. If you monitor your usage in something like Precision X or Afterburner and you can see that like, man, I'm starting to bump up to like the top of my memory here. I'm using all my memory up. And then you're like, it's getting warm and I'm getting stutters. And stutters look like they're correlating right with where the memory usage is peaking out. Then you might be getting towards the end of your cards cutting it for the games that you play at the resolution that you play them. My other question would be, I just dropped my SSD USB drive. Oh, there it is. The other question, quite honestly, would be, What resolution are you playing your games at? What FPS is your monitor? What refresh rate? So if you've got like a 1080p 60 hertz monitor, I would say you don't need to update anything right now. My car I have is a 2004 350Z with 2 bottles of nitrous. I'm sorry, 2 bottles of nitrous. If you're gonna lie, at least spell it right. My fiance and I saw your before and after pictures on the weight loss. How did you switch it up and stay determined with exercising? I have the worst time trying to get myself to even work out. Well, I think the first thing to understand is I didn't do it the first time. It took a long time. It took lots of time, quite honestly. I just found something I really liked doing. Like the bike riding was something I really liked doing. And my wife was really supportive with the cooking of clean eating habits. And that, coupled with being just active every day, led to the weight loss. It's hard to stay there though. Once you get to like where your ideal weight is and where you're comfortable, I've still got more to go. I've still got like 20 pounds to go. But once you get there, you start deviating a little bit from that diet because you're like, oh, okay, I don't need to like worry about losing a ton of weight. I can cheat this meal and then go back to the routine. The hard part is staying in that mode where you cheat once and then go back to your routine. Start cheating all the time and then you've got to like completely go back to bare minimum on the way that you eat and stick to your diet all over again. And that's the hard part, is get back into that mode. Jay, do I have any motorcycle? No, I don't have a motorcycle. Jay, my thoughts on USB monitors. I've never used one. I've never had a need for one. Rip It Gaming says, I have a diet, but every day is a cheat day. What FPS difference do you expect between the 1070 and 1080? I expect there to be maybe a 20% difference between the two. Depends on how many CUDA cores it has, because you can almost directly relate mathematically what the difference would be. Sometimes. Hey Jay, my Evo X would waste that 370 of yours. Wouldn't hold a candle to it. Let's run them. And yes, it's stock. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I already know what a stock Evo 10 can do against my car. No, you would not. Sorry. Not even from a dig. From a dig, you'd get out about a car, and then I would just reel you in, and then I would spit you out. Sorry. I say that with the most confidence. 3 times 1080p monitors with the 1080. Worth it? Absolutely, because the 1080 says 1080 in the name. It's easy. Cody Crona says, Jay, read me, please. No, he says, read me, please. Please. There's plenty of characters there. Just write out, please. Don't be lazy. Jay, should I go for the GeForce 256? Dude, do it. Do I believe NVIDIA will release a 1060? I have no reason to believe they wouldn't. They made a 460, a 560, a 660, a 760, a 960. Nope, no 1060s. Are you going to get an i7-6950X? Maybe. I don't know. Hey Jay, how long do I install an OS on a Gigabyte Z170X Gaming 7? Planning on installing on the SSD. Oh, how do I install an OS on it? Wow, dude. That's not... I know you didn't really expect a real answer on a live stream like this. You install the OS by either inserting optical media in your drive or installing it off a USB disk. If you don't know how to do that, look up how to do a USB bootable ISO drive for Windows installation. There you go. Jerry even did a whole series about it. Jerry, how much... Jerry, I just called myself Jerry. Jay, how much do you think the GTX 900s will drop in price? 980 Ti's have to come down a couple $100 easily. Jay, my stock 94 Miata would smoke your Nissan. Yeah, literally, because the amount of smoke coming out of the tailpipe of your car would probably smoke me pretty good. I'd probably be like... Ugh. I'd probably do that. Does little Jay get your old Titans when you upgrade to the 1080s? I know, because I have 4 of them. I should put 2 of them in her. I should put 2 Titan X's. I should put my air coolers back on. Put 2 Titan X's in her A10 7850K system. What do you guys think? What do you think? Rodent Explosion says, Jay! I know you'll never get to North Dakota for any sane reason, but you should drag race my homie's built 383 stroker 75 Camaro. It should be pretty close, but I think he'd win. The thing I don't understand is the amount of people that want to drag race me. Okay, drag racing, first of all, anyone can put their foot in the floor. And you drive your car enough, anyone should be able to modulate the clutch if it's not automatic to make it go faster off the line. And other than that, it's just put your foot to the floor. And if you're turbo and you're tuned for it, you can flat shift. Otherwise, you shift, and you see who goes faster. That doesn't mean shit. If you want to impress me, call me out to the track where you turn your car and some skill is involved. Then you'll impress me. Because I used to do drag racing over at the Speedway. That shit's boring. I'm sorry. It is boring. To be like, my dick's smaller than yours and I got a bigger engine. Or I got some more boost. My car goes straight faster than your car, and yet some folks still manage to crash. Get out to the track where you literally are doing lateral grip down to the... You want to impress me and you want to show me how big your nuts are? You take your car to the limit on the corners. Because there's no recovery when you fuck up there. Anyway, the amount of people that always come at me like, wanna run them? It's like, you've watched way too much Fast and Furious. Seriously. Anyway, I don't know why everyone who wants to run me has a southern accent in my head. But I don't know, I think of, that thing got a Hemi. I don't know why I think of that. JayzTwoCents. The thermals are not the overclocking limit. Then how does LN2 help achieve higher overclocks? It doesn't, mister. It allows a shit ton of voltage. You also are not going to slap LN2 on a card like mine or a card like the ones back there and be like, boom, tough actin' tenactin. I got a shitload of overclocking. No, it's custom VRM delivery. It's VRM mods. It is custom BIOS. There's a lot of shit happening there to get your card needing LN2. We're talking in excess of 2 volts going to your GPU when you're locked at like 1.147 on one like 980 was locked at like I think 1.15, and you're going to be putting excess of 2 volts to it. That's where your thermals start to matter because there's a lot of tuning that happens with VRM delivery. Now I know you don't understand that, otherwise you wouldn't have asked me that, but that's my answer anyway. Okay. Damn Hemi. All right, let's see. Cole Johnson, again. Is that the same Cole Johnson? I don't know, maybe. He says, is DDR3 1.5 volt on Skylake as bad as Intel makes it out to be? Or I could reuse my current RAM when upgrading. I don't know what you mean by as bad as Intel makes it out to be. I know there's low volt option for DDR3, but I've used 1.5 lots of times. I even overclock my memory, and then I bump that shit up to like 1.65, and I've never had a problem. Illich1961 says, I'm running a GTX 980 at the moment and awaiting a HTC Vive. Did the VR support on the GTX 1080 really impress enough to upgrade? With that question in mind, my answer is absolutely. If you are doing VR and you want to get the best VR performance, then you want the fastest GPU designed for VR that you possibly can, and the 1080 definitely delivered that. I've been fortunate enough over the last couple of years to be able to experience VR demos behind the scenes in their SDK or their development stages, and I've been able to actually see the progression, how far we've come on VR performance. And I can say that absolutely the 1080 is that biggest jump we've seen yet over even the 980 Ti, and even that was a VR discussion when they talked about 980 Ti. You guys notice they didn't do hardly any talking about 4K, period, when it came to the demo. Remember back when 980 launched, like super dynamic resolution or whatever, dynamic super resolution was like the thing. Like you could take 1080 and you can make it 4K and you can put it back to 1080. It's kind of like, why? But anyway, that was a thing, right? But they're not even talking about resolution now. Christian Fontaine says, what do you think of the new Ford GT? It weighs about 2,800 pounds and is made out of carbon fiber. And it's $450,000. That's expensive. I can't think about cars like that. My head hurts when I think about it. I dare Jay to race me in my Prius with a spoiler. I'll race you to 30 mpg. I'll never get there. Jay, have you Have you been in Uranus? Not today. Jay, what's the name of the game that is on some of your videos that has a ship boat suspended by a balloon? That's not a game. That's a benchmark. It's a benchmark called Heaven benchmark. It's literally just, it's a synthetic track that it runs around on, or you can unhook from the track and move around throughout that world as you want. But different segments there are designed to stress different aspects of GPU computing. So different lighting effects, different shader models, things like that. They're designed to literally hammer your graphics cards as hard as you can. But yeah, it's not a game. It's a benchmark. A couple more guys, and I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm starting to lose my voice. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. Oh my God, they're moving so fast. The comments are moving so quickly. I can't read them. Race me on your bike? Sure, I'll take a bike race. Absolutely. Jay, will you thermal my balls? Yeah. Right after you... I don't know. I didn't have a comeback for that. I wasn't ready. Ask me again later. The new Ford GT will hit 280. It looked super aerodynamic. Last year at E3, last June, I got to see it in person. It's really crazy the way the air like goes back through it, like through the back of the car for downforce. It's crazy. Jay, you should bike off a ramp. You take it off any sweet jumps? Thoughts on FX 6300 CUP? Thoughts on the FX 6300 cup? It holds exactly 6,300 milliliters of fluid. That was stupid. Why do you keep doing that? I don't know. Judge me. Shut up. Get off of here. Answer the questions to stop the stream. Come on. Okay. Focusing here. You guys are seeing I'm really schizophrenic. Okay. Best card setup for maxed out 4K at 60 FPS. I don't know. Two 1080s probably. I don't want to talk about benchmarks. I can't talk about benchmarks. Twitter, bro. All right. We're looking at Twitter and then we're getting out of here. You guys have been fun today, though. Hope you guys have enjoyed just hanging out with me like this. What's interesting is we have just as many viewers as when it's me and Jerry. So I guess Jerry hasn't been bringing anyone to the party at all, has he? No, I think we just have a lot of common viewers here. Hey, Jay, do you like to cook or cook with your family? I don't want to cook my family. I love my family. I'm not a very good cook. My wife does all the cooking. Hans Bastard says, if a donkey is an ass and a male goat is a ram, why is a ram in the ass a goose? That's mind blown. Thanks for everything you do. Enjoy it all. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Bob. I have a big audience today. Ha! Martin Paluni's cats are watching me. Your cats are crazy. Your cats are so crazy. Have I seen the email that sponsors a contest to win over 1,000 prizes? Seriously, it not for the average man. Try it. Yeah, I knew about that long before the email actually went out. I'm not participating in it though. Eric Hennessy says, would an X-Predator 240 be enough to cool... Oh, an EK Predator. Okay, it's EK, not EX. Would an EK Predator 240 be enough to cool a 5820K or a 6800K plus a GPU? Want to stick with mid-tower in the build? Yeah, I think it would, if you don't overclock too far. Thanks for replying with my question. You're welcome, Rory. What's my opinions on the rumored new i7-6950 chipset from Intel? Broadwell E, it sounds like 10 cores, 20 threads. I think there's more cache. Simon Cooper, what time does the NDA lift? It lifts at the time that it goes up. Pup Shepherd, I love 5.1 home theater system for my video games. Lots of people disagree in preference to 2.0. Your thoughts? Okay, I ditched 7.1 surround for my Sonos system, which is actually a soundbar with rear speakers. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Coconut Monkey was over here the other night. We were watching Deadpool in 4K because I got the 4K Samsung HDR player, which my EG9600 TV doesn't even have HDR. It has HDMI 2.0, not 2.0A. So I get the native resolution of 4K, but I don't get the HDR, which really kind of sucks. With the sub for Sonos, shakes the freaking house. The sound sounds like it's coming where it's supposed to be coming from. I don't know how Sonos does it, but it sounds amazing. And I want to get one for the upstairs. I'm just too cheap right now. I spent $2,400. right? Was it $2,400? It's $200 for each speaker. Okay, so it's $700 for the soundbar, $700 for the sub, $200 for each rear. So $1,800. Yeah, it was $1,800 to get the Sonos in there. But I think it was worth every penny. I bought it at Best Buy. Nightwolf says it'd be funny to see Jerry Skype in via his phone from Raleigh. He offered to try it, but I told him not to worry about it. Mike Smith, do you think someone dual card? These are the comments that hurt my heads, guys. My heads, both of them. Do you think someone dual card? If money were no object, which of the Holy Trinity would you choose? I feel like I don't know what you're talking about, and that makes me sad. Hey, Jay, do you have your fans running on low? The mic didn't pick it up. My fans are just running what they're running right now. Yeah, they're pretty low. But the mic is right here. The mic never moved. The camera went over there, but the mic stayed right here. I do have speed fan configured to work on this motherboard. Is anyone interested in a video about how to configure speed fan? Because I think what happens with a lot of people is they download speed fan, and it's this very basic looking program. And then they go, oh, fan control. And they click the little arrows and they go, oh, my fans aren't moving. It doesn't work. And then they just uninstall it. So I'm curious if anyone would be interested in a tutorial that's like how to configure speed fan to your motherboard, how to let it scan, learn where all of your IOs and stuff are on the motherboard, where the channels are and stuff. And then like, here's how to make it work on any motherboard. So if you guys are interested, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll even do it tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. Hey, Jay, any other plans to boost Nizzy's performance? Yeah, Nissan Race Shop, which you guys know, hey, I have to be wearing their shirt right now. They give me a price break on a lot of stuff that I do for my car. They sent me a message on Facebook yesterday. They're like, hey, we got this now, and immediately thought of you. And it was the AAM twin turbo kit. I told them, I said, I'll buy it if you smog it. Let's just say the conversation ended right then and there. Yeah, it'd be illegal for them to smog me. I think it'd be fun, but man, to do boost the right way in the VQ really does warrant a nice rebuild. Yes, the VQ37 VHR is forged internals. However, where some of the limitations are the rings that were used in there. I had a whole conversation with them about where the shortcomings are on the internals. And to do boost right would really require a rebuild. And we're talking $8 or $9 grand for the rebuild, and then the 10 grand for the turbo charger system, both the twin turbo, and then a retune, and then the installation, and then I would have to upgrade my radiator, and which is that's like $600 just for that radiator, and then I would have to upgrade the viscous LSD in the back of my car and go with something like a Cusco or my brain is fried right now. Anyway, I'd have to go with a good 1.5 or 2-way LSD in the rear. Let's just say it would cost like 25 grand. That's a lot of money. Anyway, guys, it's time to go. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. There were 2,000 of you in here at one point. Crazy. I remember when I used to do these live streams with this crazy background you guys are seeing right here, having no idea what this is because this was a sort of a throwback since Jerry wasn't here today on how I used to do my tech talks long time ago. Anyway, let me get the last donation question here. I'm cutting them off right here. Hopsatoff. Anthony Justice says, could you explain what a Cuda core is, or maybe make a video with a breakdown of what exactly each spec of a GPU means and what real-world effect it has? You know why I haven't done that? Because it ultimately doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. And here's why. It would probably be interesting to learn about it, but knowing it won't change anything in terms of understanding overclocks or anything like that. For instance, AMD uses Cuda or stream processors, and NVIDIA uses Cuda cores. Different approaches to the same end result. You can't directly compare them though. Some folks like to go, well, the Titan X has 3,072 Cuda cores, and the Fury only has blah 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 stream processors, so this one's faster. You can't do that. They're completely, it's just completely non-comparable. So Anyway, guys, it's time to go. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's been fun. I think I might do some more of these one-offs like this, like not necessarily on Tech Talk night, because I do really enjoy hanging out with Jerry here on live, but maybe like just random streams like this. If you guys think I should do more random Q&As like this on live stream, then hey, tweet me and tell me. I don't know what you guys want to see if you don't tell me. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing down. As always, I will see you in the next video. Gonna roll that outro. This is the outro song on the live stream. Who thinks we should do the Words with Arnold again on the Instagram? Haha! It actually started on Vine, but then we moved it over to Instagram. But anyway, time to go. Thanks for watching. See you later.